So what we're going to do here is we're going to do some mussels, and I'm also going to do a Flemish classic called bacon. It's bacon-wrapped cod. Cod's a local fish, native to New England. You can find it in the Atlantic Ocean, also the Northern Pacific. And we're going to use some bacon, some hickory smoked bacon. So more or less, I'm going to come over here. Here's our cod. You know, you want to go with about 4 to 5 6-ounce pieces. Make sure you can go to the fishmonger, have it cleaned, you know, or if you want to be a soldier, you can go to the fish market, get a whole fish, you know, could break it down, you know, go for it. You know, it's a good time. You can throw it in the freezer. In this case, I've used fresh fillets. I have some hickory smoked bacon here. I bought it pre-sliced, you know. Slicing bacon is you know, for amateurs. So what I want to do here is I'm going to wrap the bacon. First and foremost, season your food, people. You always got to season your food. This is a mixture of salt and pepper. You got to grind your pepper fresh every other day. You know, it loses flavor pretty quickly. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Now you want it to overlap. You want the bacon to overlap so that it coats the most of the fish. Let's see. I always say season liberally and without disregard for the eaters, because a lot of times you go to restaurants, you know, you have food and it's not seasoned well. And seasoned food can be the difference between a meal and something you just, you know, an experience. You know, you can go to a place and have a piece of fish that's not seasoned and say, wow, you know, it's a piece of fish. It's in my belly now, and that's it. Or you have something that someone takes time to think about it and season it, and you just say, wow, that tastes really good. Of course, be a little careful because, you know, bacon is naturally salty, so you don't really want to go overboard. Pepper, of course, I always love pepper. So I'm going to do one of these fillets. Again, you can keep this in the fridge, wrap it up, you know, use it in a day. You can actually freeze that, provided the fish has not been frozen already. So here we have just a small pot. What we're going to do is we're going to add some ingredients here. I choose different ingredients. I like shallots, garlic, thyme. Thyme is one of my favorite things. It grows wild. Has a minty and sort of like piney aroma. Just goes really well with bacon, with potatoes, with anything. You know, you can use it pretty much anything. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Now, real quick, I'm going to grab a little bit of oil. You just want a little bit to start your cod and your mussels. So once you get that nice and hot, you can see that now, because you only need a little bit of oil because the bacon has a lot of fat. It's going to render out. Always pull your pan off the stove when you're going to add your whatever you're doing, because you don't want it to flare up. So once it gets in there, you lower the heat. I say to about medium. Give it a little press. Save this puppy for later. Now here in our mussel pot, you can use any pot. I like to use smaller pots just for speed. It diffuses heat quickly. Add a little bit of oil. You see a little bit of smoke, that's good. Just make sure you keep it off the heat. If you see a lot of smoke, take it off the heat and don't touch it, just for safety's sake. So I'm going to add a little bit of shallots here. It's about a tablespoon minced. I'm going to go a tablespoon of minced garlic as well. Let that sweat for a tiny little bit. Oh, it smells good. Now, like I said, beers, very important. You can use anything. In this case, we're using a smoked beer. It's beautiful. So, I mean, to me, I don't like to drink this so much. It's got a smoky, you know, denote to it, so I don't really. It's just better, I think, for cooking. But don't tell the makers I said that. So what I'm going to do is I have my sweated shallots. I'm going to add a little beer. Yeah. Let that come up to a boil. So this pan with the cod, this is one thing very important when you're a cook. If you have the skill, you want to get a couple things going. This is going to take about 15 minutes in the oven. So you want to multitask, you know? And this whole time, if you're with guests, you can talk, you can shoot the breeze, you can have a beer, you know? I like to baste my fish with a little butter. Even add a little bit of shallots to that. Sprig of thyme. I'm going to pop that in the oven. That's going to go by itself for a little bit. You want the fish to be cooked and the bacon to be nice and you know, crispy. Now with these mussels, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more time, and you can sit there and pick it and chomp it. I don't even bother. You can just throw it right in. You know, one thing you want to be careful, don't use too much of the stem. It gets a little bitter sometimes. But as long as you know, I mean, you're using beer and stuff like that, if you don't cook it for a long time, the bitterness won't come out. I'm also going to add my mussels. Now these are PEI mussels, Prince Edward Island mussels. We go through several bags of these on any given day at the public house. Because A, they're delicious, and B, you know, it's a good deal. You come in, you get a big old pot of mussels, bread, moule frites. You can add garnishes to these too. Like in this case, I'm going to add some tomatoes, and also some potatoes. These have been blanched. You can blanch them in salted water. You can blanch them in beer. You can blanch them in fluffernutter if you want. You can just throw them right in there. And also, what's the most important thing? Yes, mussels are naturally salty. They live in the salt water, so be gentle. I'm going to cover it. You can use any cover, put it on the back burner. Those are going to take about, 7-8 minutes. Let's check on our bacon cod. So like if you want to, you can baste it, throw those herbs right on top. Yes. See that? Nice crispy. I'm going to throw that back in the oven for probably about 8 minutes. Now one thing you want to do is if you want to have an insta-read thermometer, you can put it in there. You want to pull it out about 142 to 145. Another trick you can do is you can use a small fork, put it inside of the fish, and if you touch it to your lip, if it's just under hot, then you know it's done. You know, like I said, a lot of people overcook a lot of food in this world, so you really want to be that guy who will go and cook food perfectly. That's our job here. So we have our bacon wrapped cod. We have our moule frites. Sorry, not moule frites, mussels. If I was going to serve them with French fries or anything like that, you'd call them moule frites. In this case, I'm just going to do some bread. I want a little bit of, I don't want to just eat bacon and fish and mussels. I want to add a little vegetables. You know, make mama proud. So this is broccolini. It's great. It's also called aspiration, is the name it's marketed under. It's a cross between broccoli and asparagus. It's really good. You've seen a lot of broccoli rabe and stuff like that. That tends to be bitter. Now, what you want to do here is you just want to get a hot pan, nice hot pan. Once it's hot, add a little bit of oil. You can always tell when oil's hot because it smokes a little bit and also moves very quickly in the pan. Give that a second. So we got our mussels here. There we are. See how they're just open? They're not tiny little mussels that have been cooked to hell. Always taste. Oh yeah. Oh, good. Now you can leave those like that for a minute while we saute our our broccolini. Like I said before, anytime you add anything to a pan, I've seen people burn the hell out of their hands and stuff like that just by putting stuff in there. If any water gets in there from your hands, it's a goner. And also, when the pan ignites, you see a lot of chefs who put the pan on the burner and it flames up and it's just, oh yeah, we're cooking. No, taste that food. It'll taste like carbon. It's disgusting. Once you have your broccolini in a pan, I like to season always. Let that go for 1 second. You want to get that pan nice and hot because we're going to pull it off the stove and we're going to add water. That's going to steam it. It's going to be a combination cooking. You can also add to this some tomatoes, red chili peppers. I think I got some of that. Sorry about that. Careful with these. Wham! I don't say bam, I say wham. There you go, into the water. You don't want to put it back on yet because it'll flame up. Again, cover it. Let it cook. So we got our mussels here. There we are. Save the juice. The juice is the most important part. That's it. Crusty bread here. Eat them cold. Eat them hot. Oh, it's good. Saute it. Get nice and bright green. I like to add a little bit of tomatoes. More oil. Let's check your seasoning. Money. So here we go. We got our mussels. Put those in the back. Broccoli. And again, you can do this fish with anything. You can do it with greens. I've done it with greens. I've done it with bread salad, tomato salad. Nice tomatoes, you know. Get our fishies. You don't want to serve the time. What I'd like to do is baste it one last time. You can see the bacon's crispy, the fish is nice and delicate. You can serve it with a slice of lemon. That's about it. You know, I like to go a little lighter, something with a little spicy, crisp vegetables, tomato, because there's a lot of fat in there. You know, bacon can be pretty fatty. And against a nice delicate fish like cod, you want to have balance. The most important thing, aside from seasoning, in cooking is balance. So that's going to be it. So we have our simple bacon wrapped cod with our tomatoes, broccoli rabe. Like I said, you can add anything in there. Then we have our mussels. And that's going to be it for today, man. Thank you so much, and come to the Public House in Brookline, Mass.